today on the fortunes of the Football League's newest recruit, Macclesfield Town. I'll be talking to the manager, Sammy McIlroy. So Sam, here we are, 1998 already, halfway through the season, first season in league football. What would be your half-time report?
Well, I suppose satisfied, Jim, at this stage, you know, in the top 12, but really, looking back over the halfway, I think we should be higher up the league.
If you'd done a little bit away from home, you'd be right in the thick of it, wouldn't you?
No danger about that. Away from home's been very disappointing. The games that we've lost, we should have got something, and then the games that we drew, you know, we could have turned into something as well, but that's been the disappointing part. Away form's been dreadful.
And what about the teams, Sam, that you've come up against? You've seen them all now. Who do you reckon in the division?
I think I said to you, Jim, at the beginning of the season, I think Peterborough and Notts County, because where they come from and the money they've spent, are going to be there, and so far that's the way it's proved. I think everyone's for running for third place.
Notts County
will go up.
Notts County with Big Sam Allardyce. He must have kicked you a few times.
Oh, he's done that a few times, yeah. And we had a cracking game with them down there early in the season at Notts County. We drew 1-1, but you could see that they were a good, strong side, and they were going to be a team that could stay the course. And the same with Peterborough.
Now, a lot of people would give you points for style, Sam, but I don't think maybe you picked up the points that your players warranted.
No, you don't get points for style, Jim. You get points for scoring goals, and really, that's been our problem. Everyone's worked tremendously hard, don't get me wrong, but we're not scoring goals, and you know, we're working on that at the minute, but as I say, it takes money, and money we haven't got.
How are the players getting used to being able to put professional footballer on the passports?
Well, they love it. I mean, it took a little bit of time at first, obviously, coming from their job to work day to day, but now, as I say, halfway there, they're getting into it, and there's no problems in that score.
And what about Sammy McIlroy? What's it like for you to know that you're now the manager of a league club?
Well, that's what I've always wanted to be, Jim, and I'm enjoying it. It's, you know, you get your frustrating times, you get your good times, and that's all part of being a manager, and so far I'm enjoying it.
Now, I know you, Sam, we've talked over the years for the past 10 years, and I know that having established Macclesfield in the league, your next thought will be turning them into a force in the league. Have you already got plans afoot to make a bit of progress in that direction?
Well, what I said before, we need money, Jim, and I don't need a lot of money, but we just need to compete with clubs for certain things and certain players. If I could get that, I mean, I'm sure Mac could go and maybe push for a second division. I'm not saying this season because obviously we've just come in, but you know, maybe next or maybe a couple of years, if we got the funds, I'm sure we could push for a second division.
Any chance of the funds arriving?
Not that I know of. And when you think you're in a nice area like Alderley Edge, it's just down the road, Wimslo's just down the road, supposed to be the most drinking champion people in the land, and we can't get a few bob off them.
Now, Sammy, whenever a job becomes vacant in the football market, one of the names tossed in the ring is invariably your own, and you've now been linked with the job of Northern Ireland. Is there any truth in that?
I haven't heard anything from Northern Ireland, Jim, but every time you pick up a paper or you turn on the television, it's another manager. The latest one I hear is Terry Venables. Well, Terry Venables is linked with everyone from Nigeria now to Northern Ireland, so Ron Atkinson, Joe Royal, people like this, Bruce Rioch. I don't think I've heard an Irishman mentioned yet. But having said that, I mean, until anything does happen, I'll just get on with the job, really.
But what about missing the day-to-day involvement with players? Because that's the great appeal of club football, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, I've enjoyed it. But until you do get a call from Ireland and say exactly what they want you to do, you can't really quote on anything. But the day-to-day involvement is the thing that I'm really enjoying at the minute.
Right, just to finish, Sam, we are halfway through the season. What would you like to see happen between now and May? What would bring a smile to your face?
Well, us to win an away game for a start.
No, I mean realistic stuff, Sam.
Yeah. And obviously, the push for a playoff place would be very good, Jim. You know, a lot of people said before the season kicked off, oh, halfway would be nice, consolidation and things like that. I want more than that. After what I've seen halfway through the season, we could push for a top 6, top 7 place, no danger.